Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix General Zero Hour to make the best game ever. Good, so last session we did trigger this crash here, which I still have in the debugger. So I made a copy of that, yeah. Okay, so this is heap use after free as well, yes. All right. On that note, I wonder if we should change the title of this one. Instead of we say crash, we'd say fix heap. Well, no, it's an actual crash. Yeah, fix crash. Yeah. Good. All right, what do? We need to check open contain, process damage to contained. I see. Attempt damage. Yeah. Man, how many functions are there that can kill or damage? Let me see. Are there maybe even more? Let me see. So there's this. Just these two. Okay, and then we have a kill. Kill. Right, so here we already fixed it. Okay. Interesting that this one can attempt damage and kill. In case we are carrying flame-proof troops, we have been asked to kill. What? Carrying flame-proof troops. Okay. So it's burnt death to units. Burnt death. Burnt normal. Data. Okay, I think this music is a little bit too aggressive, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. There's applying burnt death type. But why? Burnt death. Process damage. It's like when something is aflame, right? Yeah. When a contain module, when a car is burning, like when you shoot with mix on cars, then they burn for a moment. Yeah, and you see the particle effects on it, and they receive burn damage. And sometimes a burn damage ticks just enough to kill the unit after a couple of seconds. It's rare, but it happens. Can lead to some funny kills. What is this Fuba here? Advance to the next iterator before we apply the damage. Kill the unit. Oh, so they fixed it here, but somehow it's still broken. Probably because of evacuate again, right? Let me see. Yeah, remove all contained. Yeah. 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 They didn't think that through when they built that. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, it's the same problem like all the other places. Okay. Okay, I think we simply apply the same fix as we have applied here. Fix crash. This is okay, so the function is here. Okay, let me copy this guy here. Okay. Get contained items as data, items. Get contained items. What is this? Oh, just contain. Okay. Okay, it should be the same fix basically. Yeah. Okay. Let's put that. Okay, so today is the 5th of June. Empty contain list straight away to prevent a potential child code. Catastrophe modify the contain list as well. This not going to happen. It can apply deadly damage on this to the host container, which then attempts to remove all remaining occupants. This is reproducible by shooting with. This is reproducible by destroying a battle bus with Chile battle bus with at least 3 half damaged terrorists inside GLA-terrace. Okay, so we also swap. We set the size to 0. Let me fix the formatting here. Okay, so we don't need that. We do that. Right arm must not contain null element. Right arm. Object. Here we don't do a test. Move that. Okay. Okay. Calculate the damage. Okay. Then we take this guy. And we paste it here. Call this object. Okay, I think that works. Yeah, maybe we move. Maybe we move this down here. Maybe here. Okay, let's go through this. So we swap the list. We set the size to 0 because this one will be empty as well now. Then we take the iterator. We iterate up to the end. Here we increment. Here we have the object. Here we need to put objects. Can also increase that. Calculate the damage. Can I have space here? Damage, yeah. Damage unresistable, blah, blah, blah. Attempt damage. If not effectively dead. And percent damage is 1. Percent damage. If not effectively dead and percent damage equals, what does that mean? Percent damage. Damage. Ah, so, okay. Okay. It's weird. So you would think that the damage here is scaled by the max health. So it applies 100% damage, and it should definitely, so this should definitely kill it, but somehow there's a scenario where it's not yet dead. Huh. How would that happen? That's weird. Maybe here they should have tested larger equal 1. Yeah. Okay, but this to me looks like it should work. Yeah. Good, and let me comment this out. Yeah. And I wonder if this function also applies to generals. I suspect it does. Yeah. It's the same in generals, yeah. Okay, then let's test this guy. Good. Good. So we need we take our toxin here again. Yeah. Palace. Good. So we put this guy in here. Then we shoot him. Oh. That also crashed. Huh. Oof. Okay. Okay, that is different. That is weird. That is a very weird, yeah. Oof. Okay, because that didn't happen before when we killed the boss the first time, and now that happens. So that looks suspicious. That looks very suspicious. Oof. Okay, but let's roll with it for now. Okay, what do we have here? Oh boy. Compute bonus. Oof. Get contained by. Oh. Right. Right. We're not. We're not removing the guys. Yeah. We are not removing them. Right. Right. I think the fix we did is totally wrong. This fix is totally wrong. Yeah. Because we are not supposed to empty this, right? Yeah. Okay, how do we deal with this? We're not supposed to clear 10 damage. Right. Yeah, okay, the crash is rightful. What we could do is maybe temp damage. What we could do is we do swap it, but then we swap it back here at the end. We swap it back. Yeah. So list. I think this would be easier to read if we put it here. Swap list. And then we put this to that size. What type is this? Unsigned int. Move this up here. This could work. Yeah. Temporarily empty the contain list to prevent a potential child call. Prevent a potential child call catastrophically. Prevent a child call to catastrophically modify the end contain list. Empty the M contain list to prevent a potential child call to catastrophically modify the contain list. Yeah. Yeah. This scenario can happen if the killed occupants apply deadly damage on death. The only problem here would be if some child call would call into open contain, remove some item, but then that contain list already didn't contain it, but then later it's moved back and would refer to some objects that no longer is expected to be in there, right? Yeah. Containers. Oof. We need to think about this a bit. Yeah, I'm a bit suspicious of this because, yeah, because let me see the interface here. So there's some function here somewhere to, what is this here? This function doesn't exist. So let me take a note of this. Okay. So how do we deal with this? So there's a function here somewhere to remove, right? Remove. On removing. Remove from contain. Here. Contain by. We can only remove this object from the contain list of this module if it is actually contained by this module. Trying to uncontain, but it's really contained by that. Contained by get object. I would say here we probably should also add a debug crash. removing debug log. Get objects. Get template. Rider is really contained by trying to get objects. So we should say is trying to uncontain that, but that is already uncontained. Yeah. Trying to uncontain that, but that is already uncontained. Yeah. Okay, because this could then happen, right? Let's say attempt damage or kill would then somehow call back to remove. Oh, it probably does, right? It will. It will call in here. If it's dying, maybe, then it will call in here. That would mean it would hit this. Oof. Now I'm not so sure anymore if this. So it would call in here and would then. Yeah, I think it would hit here. Let me put a breakpoint there. I'm not so sure. Oh, man. It seems very risky. It seems risky. Oof. Essentially, I think what we need to do is damage. Kill. Let me check what on kill does. Kill with a 10 damage. 10 damage. Body at 10 damage. 10 damage. Contain. Evacuate instantly. I'm not so sure about this. This looks very risky. Very risky. But if it worked for the other cases... Kill. So one idea would be to retroactively remove all the killed objects after the fact, after the killing. But then I wonder if like something is not quite right. Let me see the core stack. I can close this one here. Here, attempt damage, on die, object on die. Fire weapon, blah blah, attempt damage, on die. Remove all contained. But if it worked for the other cases, then maybe that's just fine. Maybe that's just fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would say we do this, we do this. We do this, and we say if object is effectively dead, then we do erase list dot erase that else plus plus it. Mm-hmm. 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 Now remove all killed objects from the list. Swap the list back into the container. This could work. Yeah. Yeah. Could work. So basically, we kill the guys inside, but the temporarily the container is empty. So that there's no recursion. Yeah. There's no recursion. Mm-hmm. 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 Then I think this doesn't apply here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. It could work. Yeah. Could work. Maybe. Yeah. Could work. Let's see what happens. I'm a bit now What this means is that if there ever was a feature to apply damage. Ooh. I wonder. Oof. We have to test that, yeah. Okay, I would like to test something before we test the fix. Let me stash that. I do wonder if a terrorist dies inside a container, will it actually apply damage to non-terrorist infantry? That would be interesting to know, because that will change everything. Because if a terrorist can damage other units inside the contain module, then the contain module needs to be available at all times, and we can't just, oh my gosh, that means we would need a different fix. Also for the other guys. Oof. Oof. Let's start with toxin guy. Okay, so let's double check first that our terrorists can kill other infantry. Right, so here, as you can see, it can kill the RPG trooper. Yeah, so we take this guy, we take the buses, we take a bunch of these, put them inside, build another war factory. Let's remove these guys. Let's take some RPG troopers. Okay. And then we shoot on this. Yeah. And now all of them have half damage. Okay. Now we go in the second bus. Now let's see what happens. Oof. Okay, it crashes straight away. Okay, but that's because the bus doesn't have so much health. I see. I see. Can we... let's go back to the change before our first fix here. Our first fix to... this one. We go here. This guy. Good. Then we compile that one. Let's test it with terrorists in a bunker. One terrorist in a bunker and a bunch of guys. And see what happens. Yeah. That's really tricky. This is tricky logic. Another way to fix it would be to say, when we are in the process of iterating this module, then iterating the contain list, then we do not allow to evacuate guys. Or we do not allow to evacuate anyone that is not the one that we are currently processing. Maybe. Okay. Then let's take China. Yeah. Okay. Then we build a bunker. I think we would need a stealth fighter, right? Let's get a stealth fighter. Okay. Okay. So that has now killed all the units inside. Okay. I mean, it's put five RPGs inside. Okay, it clears a bunker. Okay. Clears a bunker. If we have a tunnel. And then in the tunnel we put some cars. And this guy. It has killed the terrorists, applied a bit of damage. Was that damage because of the Buster or the terrorists? Looks like it was because of the Buster. Hard for me to say. I'm not sure. Man. If we... I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, so the problem I see here right now is if we empty the container straight away, it would prevent passengers from damaging each other in here. I don't know if that's really happening in the original game. It seems not, because they just always die straight away. I mean, the neutron shell will kill them. It looks like the bunker buster also does enough damage to kill them. Maybe we just should shoot one of the rockets. Can we? Can we make it shoot one rocket? It's probably hard to do. Yeah, I do wonder. I think when a bunker is damaged, the damage simply is not transferred to its occupants, right? It's there's no such concept that when you damage a building, that it damages the passengers, unless you shoot with the neutron shells or the bunker buster, or toxin. But that doesn't work on this bunker here, right? Yeah. We would need a different bunker. A civilian bunker. Which we don't have here on this map. I didn't know that Toxin Rebel can attack a Toxin Tunnel. Huh. Interesting. But can a Toxin Rebel attack another Toxin Rebel? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. probably fine. Okay, let's test it. Temp damage. Yeah. The only worry I have here is, but this also counts for all the other fixes we have put. If something damages, oh, it's, I mean, the others they kill, right? This one damages. Oh man, yeah, kill, damage. Yeah. Okay, so what we did now is we put one very healthy guy inside. Yeah. Use of DLK. Man. Okay, so this one points to garbage. It's probably the RPG trooper, right? No, the terrorist. Huh. Okay. But he died. Objects to destroy. Okay. Ah. Right. Actually, I'm not sure why this still has a pointer. The killing. Let me see. The killing of this guy should have. The kill should have emptied the contain. But that didn't happen. Maybe because... Objects. Undie. Undie. Radar, remove. Blah, blah, spawner, blah. Blah, remove. Where do we find let's search for git contain. Contained here. Look. Defects. On destroy. There we go. On destroy. Ah, this is where we are right now. Okay. Remove from contain. So the contain is destroyed before the object. How is that possible? Do we need to explicitly call removal on the guys? Open contain. On removing. Ah, shit. On removing. Here. On removing. Rider. On remove from. On removing. Remove from. Wrong contain. Kill. Kill. Remove from. Kill. Okay, this is actually interesting. That so it seems that calling kill will not remove this guy, right? On removing. So it looks like we need to call this guy on removed from. And then that clear status. But then how did that ever work before? If we damage the guy. How was the guy removed before? On removing. Attempt damage. Here. Open contain, attempt damage. Attempt damage on die. Remove for contains. Oh man. Kill. Remove from and then killed. Attempt damage. Removing. Attempt damage. this on removing, where is it called? This is called anywhere outside of the contain modules, like in the object, for example. No. No. So if effectively is that, how about if effectively is that? Temp damage. Is effectively dead. So I think we need to call here on removing objects. Get object. Maybe this is okay. Maybe. Let's see. This one is not so easy. Yeah. I'm a bit worried about mismatches with this approach. Yeah. So okay. Okay, that worked okay. So I do wonder. If we put. Okay, so now 3 guys need to die, right? Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to enter. Huh. Ah. Okay. So 2 terrorists. If 2 terrorists die, they kill the boss immediately. So the problem is if a dying unit inside a bunker or a bus or so would want to apply damage to the other passengers, then this would no longer work. right? Because a contain list is quasi empty when those passengers die, because it's swapped away, right? So, yeah. I wonder if that's okay or not. 10 damage. Because we don't kill all the guys in there. We don't kill them all. Yeah. We could implement it like it is here. Remove from contain. On removing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Harm and force exit. Harm and force exit. How does it force exit here? Ah, remove from contain. Let's remove from contain. It's interesting that it would call remove all contained here from the bus, because that's not supposed to happen, right? In the bus. Process damage to contained. That is not supposed to happen. That's weird. Object on die. Remove all contained. Open contain on die. What does that do? Open contain. Get damage percentage to units. Process damage. Remove. Order all passengers to exit. Remove all contained. Remove all contained. Remove all contained. To me, it looks like that this call is also wrong here, because enforce exit. But we cannot touch this. Man, this contain stuff is an absolute mess. This needs a really good look once we can afford to break compatibility. It needs a really good look. Yeah, because it looks like it's really inconsistently done things. Like I see here, for example, it would play a sound for evacuation. And the other places where we call kill, it doesn't do that. Right, so like this won't play this sound, this evacuation sound. It does play some sound here. Play audio. But this plays some additional sound here. It plays this here, unload sound. Exit sound. Very confusing. This code is very confusing. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so this code. Oh man. Yeah. Delete that. Can we let me listen to the sounds. Let me pause the music here. Let me put some nice sound effects here. Let me enable the sound here so you can also hear the game audio.
I will die for our cause!
My pen will do good for you in battle.
I'll make a run for it!
Okay, so...
My pen will do good for you in battle.
So if we put a guy inside and we unload...
Okay, now, where are we going next?
We have an unload sound.
They will fear us. I must position myself well.
Hey, be careful with the upholstery. You, out of my bus!
We must have justice.
There are two sounds, the unit voice and the ambient sound.
We have a network.
You there, come along with us. Clear the seats.
They will fear us.
So
I will die for our cause.
I will do my best.
it's take a quiet unit.
Our will is strong. Infidel! Okay, now, where are we going next?
A warrior has fallen.
I am prepared.
No lack of courage.
A warrior has fallen.
There was just an explosion sound, right? Which is fine.
I'll make the sacrifice.
My band
I'll
will
make
do
the
good for you in battle.
sacrifice. I'll
They
make
will
the
fear
sacrifice.
us.
I'll make the sacrifice.
I will die
Be
for
on
our
watch for
cause.
the
I am
enemy.
prepared.
Be on watch for the enemy. Quick, ready
Be on watch
yourselves.
for the enemy.
The tunnels will protect us. Our land must be
Hey,
preserved.
hey, hey! Be careful with the upholstery.
I will do my best. Light tank of the GLA. They must die.
You there! Come along with us. You out
A
of my
warrior
bus.
has
They will
fallen.
fear us. I will die
Guarding
for
the
our
GLA
cause.
underground.
My
We
band will do
must
good for
have
you in
justice.
battle.
I must position myself well.
Our will is strong.
A warrior has fallen.
Okay, now where are we going next?
I didn't pay attention. Did it play unload sound or not?
Hey, hey, hey! Be careful with the
Scorpion
upholstery.
tank.
A warrior has fallen.
I'll make the sacrifice.
Be on watch for the
My
enemy.
band will do good for you in battle.
Be on watch for the enemy. Be on
I
watch for the
love
enemy.
the crowd.
No
I'll
lack of
make the
courage.
My
sacrifice.
band will do good for
Be
you
on
in
watch
battle.
for the enemy.
I am
Be on watch
prepared.
for the enemy. Quick, ready
yourselves.
on watch for the enemy. Guarding the GLA underground. Shh! I sense danger
Okay,
may
now
be near.
where are we going next?
Our will is strong. We are the just ones. They must die.
It's a crazy spin.
Okay, now where are we going next? Clear the
A
seats.
warrior has fallen.
They will fear us.
Hey, hey, hey! Be careful with the upholstery.
Light tank of the GLA. These people will not be mocked.
A warrior has fallen.
It's hard to tell for me if this is an unload sound. How about we take a recording and then we play that back?
We must have justice.
My band will do good for you in battle.
I will die for our
The
cause.
tunnels will protect us.
Our will is strong.
Okay, now where are we going
A
next?
warrior
We
has
must have
fallen.
justice. Supreme truth. I'll make a
My
run
band will
for
do
it.
good for you in battle.
We have a network. They will fear us.
Scorpion tank.
Let's record.
They must die.
A warrior has fallen.
Okay, let me watch that back.
Die.
A warrior. A warrior has fallen.
There is an unload sound. There is an unload sound.
A warrior has fallen. A warrior has fallen.
They must die.
A warrior has fallen. A warrior.
Yeah, and it probably doesn't belong in there, right? Yeah.
A warrior has fallen.
Yeah, there's definitely an unload sound. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but it's a minor thing, yeah. So I suspect that we need to then later remove this here, this on removing call, because that creates these sound effects, yeah. So it's probably just this, removing this garbage here, yeah. The kill here probably already plays the death sound, which is good enough. So we don't need this on top, right? Let me see, where's this called? On removing. So it's called in kill all contained. Remove from contain. Remove from contain. Yeah. it's called here. Removing. What about the tunnel contain? Tunnel contain. That one doesn't call it. Yeah. That one doesn't call. Maybe we should remove it straight away. Just not add it there. And then we make a follow-up change and also remove it here. But it's also called and when we call this guy remove from contain, so I think this here is also wrong. Was it? Yeah, because this one harm and force exit. Force exit. Temp damage. Does this return anything? From contain. Let me see where else is this called. Contain. Remove from contain. I think it can be fixed simply by giving it another argument here where we say play evacuation sound, yes, no. Right? And then depending on that, it either plays the sound or not. Okay, but that's for another story, another time. Yeah. Okay, but then for
Warrior has fallen. Warrior has fallen. Warrior has fallen. Warrior has fallen.
I think what we should do here is we should check before our fix. Before our fix crashed, right? Or not? Let me exit. I think what we do is we check if there is a sound before our change. Yeah, when we kill the boss. If there is, then we keep the sound as is. If there isn't, then we remove it. Yeah, I think that's fair. Basically, we don't want to change the sound behavior, right? Okay. Then let's compile that. That is really, yeah, quite something. It's quite something.
EA Games. Challenge everything.
Well done,
What do you
General.
want?
You have reached a
This
higher
hammer is
rank.
heavy. I am
I will
finished
go.
with the building. I will do the best I can. Building construction has been completed. That was a lot of work. I'm just a peasant. I will do the best I can.
I'll make the sacrifice. I'll make the sacrifice. I'll make the sacrifice. I'll make the sacrifice.
I am finished with the building.
Be on watch for the enemy! Be on watch for the enemy! Be on watch for the
Oh,
enemy! Be
okay,
on watch for
okay,
the
I will
enemy!
work.
Be on
I will
watch for
work.
the
Enemy
enemy!
may
Be
be
on
here.
watch for the enemy!
My van will
The
look for
tunnels
you
will
at back.
protect us over there!
Scorpion, ready to sting. Our will is strong. Scorpion tank. We are the just ones.
Hey, hey, hey! Be careful with the upholstery.
A warrior has
Land
fallen.
must be preserved!
You there! Come along with us.
Let's start recording.
Our will is strong.
A warrior has fallen.
Let's play that back.
Our will is strong.
Yeah, it's definitely evacuating.
Warrior, 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 warrior has fallen. Warrior has fallen. Warrior has warrior.
I don't think the sound makes sense. But that's the original behavior, so we leave it for now. I think I will create a report. Yeah. Issues. Killing units in inside containers will play the evacuation sounds, or will play the what is this? The unit exit sounds. Unit exits sound. Killing units inside containers will play the unit exit sounds. This arguably makes no sense. It happens in open contain, but does not happen in tunnel contain. Is that right? Let me double check that. So in open contain, on removing here. Friday. Plays evacuation sounds. Plays evacuation sounds. Okay, and if we look at tunnel contain, kill all contained in tunnel. Here, tunnel contain, and that one does not. Yeah, kill all contained. Yeah. Actually, hold on. Calls remove from contain. Oh, it does call this here on removing. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Put a question mark here. Maybe we attach this video here.
Warrior is falling.
Our will is strong.
Yeah, hello. Okay, extra slow. There we go. Does that make sense? So it's minor audio bug. Take this video, then we upload that. Let's see how that looks.
Our will is strong.
Warrior has fallen.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, good. Yeah, then do we want to commit to this change here? Temporarily empty the containers to prevent a potential child call to catastrophic modify and containers. So, okay. Temp damage on die. Create and fire temp weapon, private fire weapon. Deal damage internal. Temp damage. Undead body, temp damage. Undead body. Active body. Open contain on die. Open contain on die. Kill riders who are not free to exit. Process damage to contained. Contain on die. I wonder why right. notes. While the contain while mcontain list is emptied, it will not be possible to apply damage on death of a unit to another unit in the host container where the container is empty. It will not be possible to apply damage on death of a unit to another unit in the host container. If such functionality, if this functionality is desired, then this implementation needs to be revisited. Yeah. Yeah. Let me write this as caveats. Okay, that's the best I can come up with right now. I mean, it works. It works, but yeah, it's not. I would say this is not the most flexible implementation either, because it does have this restriction, right? So you could say, okay, if my terrorist dies inside the bunker, then I want him to damage the other guys who are also in this bunker, because he explodes inside. He doesn't explode outside, right? So the guys inside, they are not protected. So all the RPGs and so on, they should all die inside, right? This could be a valid functionality. I don't think that this exists right now in 0 hour, so maybe this is nothing we need to worry about right now. I can't think of a way to get this to happen. And it seems to not happen, right? So when we put a bus,
My pen will do
I
good for
am
you in battle.
prepared.
here.
Scorpion tank.
Oh, well, now we have the fix installed, right? So, let me stash this one more time. Yeah. Build it. It's possible that the damage will kill the unit and foobar the iterator list. Damage will kill the unit.
EA Games. Challenge everything.
Okay, so
Well done, General.
I'm just
You
a
have reached
peasant.
a higher
This
rank.
hammer is heavy.
want to see
That was a lot
This
of work.
is hard work.
if we can damage
Building construction has
so
been completed.
inside the bus.
I am finished with the building. And I have some shoes, if that is what you want.
I'll make the sacrifice.
Be on watch for the enemy.
Scorpion, ready to sting. Light tank of the GLA. Scorpion, ready to sting. Our will is strong. Light tank of the GLA.
I will die for our
My plan
cause.
will do good for you in
We
battle.
must have
Take
justice.
this guy.
No lack of courage. They must die.
Plan will do good for you in battle.
It will be taken care of.
Okay, now, where are we going next?
A warrior has
I am
fallen.
prepared.
Hey, be careful with
Our
your
will is strong.
A warrior has fallen.
Hey, be careful with the upholstery.
Huh. That was weird. It evacuated the terrorists later. But this guy survived.
A warrior has
Quick,
fallen.
ready yourselves.
So certainly
The tunnels will protect us.
this RPG trooper does not... Oh. So, okay, so this RPG trooper does not get the damage.
Shh! I sense danger may be near.
Okay, but I just saw like a weird behavior.
Quick, ready yourselves.
My plan will do good for you in battle.
I'll make the sacrifice.
Be on watch for
They
the
will
enemy.
fear us. Supreme truth.
Light
Plan
tank
will
of
do
the
good for you in
GLA.
battle. Okay, now, where are
I
we
will
going
do
next?
my best.
You there, come along with us.
The tunnels will protect us. The tunnels will protect us.
Hey, be careful with the upholstery.
A warrior has
I
fallen.
sense danger may be near.
Okay, now, where are we going next?
We may take a recording.
No lack of courage.
A warrior has fallen.
Hey, be careful with the upholstery.
See? That's weird.
No lack of courage.
Warrior has
So,
fallen.
Hey.
so the terrorist was still in here. And then a few frames later,
Be careful with the upholstery.
he just disappears. With an exit sound.
No lack.
Okay, so this was the original behavior. Now let's see what happens after our change. Uh-oh. If this behavior is different, then this would cause mismatch. Uh-oh. Okay. If the behavior is the same, then it's alright, but I have the impression that this could be because he's only removing him on death. I think this will cause mismatch. I think this will cause mismatch, yeah.
EA Games. Challenge everything.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so now we have our changed code. Let's see how that behaves. That's
Well
interesting.
done,
I will
General.
obey.
You have
I
reached
will
a
try
higher
to
rank.
hurry. Do not hurt me. That was
Can
a
I
lot
have
of
some
work.
shoes?
Our work
Does
is
it have
complete. To be so far? Our work is complete. I'm
I'll make
hungry.
the sacrifice.
If
Be
that
on watch
is
for
what
the
you
enemy.
want. Our work is complete.
Scorpion, ready to sting. Light tank of the GLA. Scorpion, fast as I can.
sting.
Scorpion tank.
We must have justice.
My plan will do good for you in
On the
battle.
true path.
Okay, now, where are we going next?
Light
My
tank
plan
of the
will do good for you in
GLA.
battle. You there, come along with us.
Quick, ready yourselves.
No lack of courage.
Our land must be
Our will
preserved.
is strong. They must die.
Okay, now, where are we going next?
A warrior has
I
fallen.
love a crowd.
You there, come along with us.
Let's take a recording.
I will do my best.
Hey, 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 be careful with the upholstery.
A warrior has fallen.
Shit, I should have stopped shooting. But it was different. It was different, right? The terrorist
I
immediately
will do my
died.
best.
Hey, 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 be careful with the upholstery.
A warrior has
It's gone immediately, so that's the difference. Yeah. Okay. That will cause mismatch. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. This is interesting. Yeah. Okay. That means we need to have a different implementation. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then I think what we do. If retail compatible COC and if else. Okay, so then we do a different implementation. How do we do it? So the original code, let me get to that. Original code. Ugh. Just cherry pick the pieces. Ugh. Contained items. was implemented like this, right? Good. Okay, so I think we need to fix it the same way. The same way it is fixed in this other function that applies a damage to the passengers. I can't remember what it is called. Let me put a bookmark on this one. Something about damage, force exit, this one. So we probably have to do it this way. Contain list begin. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So here we do this, contain list begin, and then we remove this here. Oh no, that doesn't work either. Hold on. That doesn't work. Okay, let's put this comment down here. And here we say, we put a different text later. So I don't think we do this here. We will we have to do this. Yeah. And then I think we have to say if the, I think we have to do size t size items dot size, and we say if size is not size is not item size, then we do that, and then we also save size equals items size. Okay, and then else we do plus plus IT because it's unchanged. We can increment it. Actually, we can encrypt. We can keep this here. We can keep that. Yeah, then we remove this. So only if the size is changed. Yeah. That should work. Data. Oh, but this doesn't work either, right? Because that's wrong. That's wrong as well. Because if we reset to the beginning, I think it needs to be done differently. We need to remember who we already processed. Yeah. This is not correct either, because if we delete one guy, then the list would reset at that time. If we remove two at the same time, it would also be incorrect. So yeah, this is yeah, this is incorrect as well. Oof. We would have to remember which index we already processed, or which object we already processed. Yeah, we need to. Why is it a STD list? That doesn't make it easier. If it was a vector, you could just index in there. Okay, so it is cleared. Okay, so how about list size? And we have another size t list pos. List pos. And we start that at 0. Okay, so if list size is not that, then that. And then we say here list pos plus plus list pos. Okay, and then size is not that. List pos. No, that's not helping much. Size. Don't know what has been removed. Yeah. I mean, someone could remove something from the end. We wouldn't know. We would have to check. We would have to store which object we have already processed. Yeah. Do we have a do we have a max contain somewhere? Get contain max. Get contain max. Yeah, so I think we need to have an std vector of objects, object ID, object IDs, processed objects IDs, and then we reserve that with items, item size. Then down here we say process object IDs dot pushback objects get ID. Okay, and so when the list size is changed, then we start at begin, and then we go forward for IT is not items end. Then we do say size t processed index equals 0. If IT is not processed object IDs, I think we need to iterate through this instead. Processed IT equals begin processed IT. Okay, so we can say, oh boy, processed IT is not end plus plus processed IT. And then we say if processed IT equals if that and IT is not items end if IT equals IT that's good idea. Then well, if it's not equal, then we break. Yeah, does this work? This could work. Let me think that through. Okay, so basically we push back our processed IDs here right at the start, yeah. And so if we kill something and that changes the list size, so that means something was removed, right? Then we don't need this. Then we reset to the beginning, yeah, because it's the safest position. And then we take our process object IDs also from the beginning. And then we look if we already processed something from the beginning. So we test, we go through all these guys. Oh, we're missing something here. Quite work. No, that's still incorrect. We would also need to check, we would also need to iterate the IT. Plus plus IT. Else break. So if the processed object matches, we can make it a bit more readable. Processed objects. Processed object is that. And then we make objects, list objects equals. How about we do object ID? Processed ID, list ID, process ID, get ID, there we go. So if these are equal, then we do plus plus IT, otherwise, okay, but that's not quite right either. Plus plus, else we just continue. We go through all processed. I think that works. That's extra complicated. Okay, so if this list has changed, we start at begin, that's fair. We look at our processed iterator at the beginning as well, yep. Then we go through there, and as long as the process has not reached the end and the items has not reached the end, we increment processed IT. Good, and then in there, we also, yeah, okay, this is safe. This is safe to dereference because we have these checks here. Yeah. And so if the processed ID equals the list ID, then we have a match, and so we can increment this guy. Otherwise, we only increment this to look into the next item, which is fair. Yeah. And then it repeats until it went through all process object IDs, and eventually it advanced iterator a little bit. So yeah, this looks correct to me. Yeah. Yeah. This could be right. Okay, this could work without breaking compatibility. Yeah. Okay, this text here is to do, but I think I will take a break here because it has been long enough. Yeah, 3 hours. I will test this next session. Yeah. I think we can also remove these guys. This guy. List size. We need to also save list size. Right. List size. List size equals item size. Yeah. Needs to save that. I think we can also add a type diff. Objects IDs. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's really quite complicated, but I think there's a chance that this works. Yeah. Good. I will continue with the next session. It's really quite delicate, this code. But okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Good. Then I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.